Hi, my name is Caleb Duran, and today I'm going to be giving a presentation on careers in cognitive psychology and in neuroscience. My goal with this presentation is to be able to properly express some core requirements to be able to get your foot in the field. Some career opportunities are very common in both cognitive psychology and neuroscience, and the importance of ongoing research in these fields. First, we look to skills that are necessary to be able to enter these fields. To be able to properly succeed in either of these fields, it's going to be pertinent for you to have some form of strong background in psychology, biology, and statistics. Looking at psychology, some great opportunities would be a psychology undergrad or a psychology minor. For biology, same thing, getting a major in pre-med or pre-medicine, human biology, general biology, statistics. Most colleges will have many electives you can take for either a heavy math-focused statistics course or even a psychology statistics course. All of these would be great opportunities to be able to fully understand the importance of each of these aspects related to these fields, as cognitive psychology focuses on the psychology aspect and neuroscience focuses on the biology aspect, but both of them do research and require the statistical aspect. So looking at that, carrying from there, you need to be able to perform both research and data analysis. As both these fields are research heavy, it is a requirement to be able to do these to some extent. Even if you're working at a lower level, the minimum being able to go and look at up-and-coming research and being able to interpret that on your own without having to go to somebody else will significantly improve your ability to practice at whatever level you are entering into this field. Next, and I would say most critically, is going to be proper communication and critical thinking skills. While these are very important no matter what field you go into, I find them particularly important here, as you need to be able to communicate some pretty high-level concepts to clients, coworkers, and people who may be having queries to you because you work in the field, and being able to have a strong grasp on not just the words to say, but being able to think on the fly, and really critically think on the fly, and not just kind of guess, will go a long way into not only creating an environment in your own head that looks good in a professional environment, but also can make more people interested and willing to maybe give funding to the field or get involved in the field and further increase the knowledge base of either neuroscience or cognitive psychology. Next, we're going to be looking at the main differences between cognitive psychology and neuroscience. Primarily, the most big thing is that cognitive psychology focuses on a lot more of the behaviorism, so we're going to be looking at memory, perception, and learning, whereas neuroscience is going to focus on the brain and nervous system, so along with the biological functions. Both of these play essential roles and go hand in hand together. The field of understanding the brain and humanity in general could not be done without both of these fields working together. Next, we're going to be looking at careers in cognitive psychology first. Primarily, the most common field is going to be a cognitive psychologist. Cognitive psychologists are going to be people who study mental processes like memory, learning, and perception, and they're going to be the ones conducting research. Whereas a human factors specialist, the next thing I found here on the list, is going to be people that are actually applying these things actively in the workplace. So think of them implementing technology or tools in workspaces that take the research from the cognitive psychologist and interpret them and make them practical, all the findings practical. Next, we're going to be looking at careers in neuroscience. First and foremost, neuroscientists. Neuroscientists are going to be the people who are doing the study, so they're going to be the ones, in this case, not the psychologist, they're going to be the ones doing the research in this field. So doing papers and doing the scans and collecting data, whereas the neuropsychologist in this instance is going to be the one actually applying that in a clinical setting, whether it be a physical trauma patient who has suffered paralysis or maybe a mental trauma patient who is serving some form of strong mental trauma, maybe from a birth defect or genetic deformity. But both of these are, once again, very important. Next, we're going to be looking at the benefits of research in this field. First and foremost, research in cognitive psychology and neuroscience really helps drive our understanding of the brain, but also what it means to be human and how we think and understand human behavior. Common research methods for neuroscience are going to be things like MRIs, EEGs, CAT scans, whereas with cognitive psychology is going to be more focused on surveys, where you're kind of getting the anecdotal personal experiences of each person in relation to their own issues and disorders, and how those people view people with disorders. All this research, though, collectively does wonders for the field and people who need help for people in the field. So first of all, first and foremost, looking at national standards for clinicians. The more research we understand about the topic, the better we are able to set rigid boundaries for what does work and what doesn't work in a clinical setting. Right next to that is going to be laws governing who can and can't get Medicaid, and like who can and can't get licensed. All these things go to help make sure the people who are getting aid because they need it are getting the best quality care that they possibly can. And finally, educational material. More important than anything else, it is pertinent in any field of research that the next generation coming up is slightly more knowledgeable than the previous one. And any research we can do is going to help that cause, with the ultimate goal of maybe one day having a full understanding of the human brain and human behavior. I would like to thank Professor Tina for allowing me this opportunity to come and do a greater research and present it to you all today. I have had an excellent time today getting to kind of do my own personal deep dive in this field, which is a part of psychology that I personally haven't had that much knowledge of previously, and neuroscience specifically is something I had basically no knowledge about. So getting to do this deep dive has really been informative to me, and I hope that it's been just as informative for all of you. Thank you for your time.